Hi, everybody. Nice to see you for another hobby hang here on a Wednesday at the Hobby Club. Zach here. I am alive. Despite the vicious rumors, our partner, Saray, has been...
Oh, yeah. He did tell everyone you were dead.
He told everyone I was dead.
He said I might be dead, too.
Yeah, we are both alive. Yeah, now that we have... now that we can stream from both studios, I like this idea that we'll start rumors from
we should.
Hobby Club South and Hobby Club North that the other half of the Hobby Club is dead.
Yeah.
Also,
listen, I'm here. Zach didn't say my name, but
Megan.
I am here.
This is Meg.
This is me.
Yeah, listen.
And we're on time.
We are on time. And if you are new, please do consider giving us a like and a subscribe. As you just saw there, we cover... we're covering Blood Bowl a lot. And so, Meg, catch everybody up what's going on with the Hobby Club, that's us, and Alive, and Blood Bowl.
What's going on with us and Blood Bowl?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we dabbled in Blood Bowl a little bit, and I say dabbled lightly. We did a Blood Bowl giveaway in December of last year, if you guys were hanging out with us and you remember that. We painted up an entire box of Blood Bowl. I think we had just refreshed, right? It was a new season or however it's edition. And we thought, oh, let's do a giveaway, let's paint it. And we did those types of giveaways. Funny idea that was, because then we ended up with no Blood Bowl. We gave it away. Jupiter was our winner. And then we were like, well, now we don't have Blood Bowl.
No.
So we need to do this a little differently next time. But we are all kind of interested in Blood Bowl.
Yeah.
Those of us at the studio, I don't think any of us have ever played it.
I have.
You have played it, okay.
But it's been a very long time.
Yeah.
Probably 5 years at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I had never played it. I know Brett and Saray had never played it. And so we just wanted to try it out as a channel. It's a lot of fun. I learned how to play it at Nova. Liberty Fires was there and taught me and Pat and...
Remember, yeah.
Yeah, a couple people how to play, which was great. And so we're going to do a mini tournament, a very small tournament, just to get it on the channel. We want to try this stuff out, and we want to make it like a regular thing. You know, we want to see how it does, and add another game to our catalog that we can share with you guys and play from time to time. So we're hoping to make this as like an annual thing, but we are going to dip our toe this year.
Yeah, I'm excited. I honestly, sadly, you know, as hype is growing around the channel, I'm more and more coming to realization that, well, I'll be participating as an announcer, which I'm excited to do along with Brett. You're
good at harassment, so it'll be a good job for you.
Yeah, that was we were kind of hoping it would be me, Brett, and some Steven maybe not, but that's okay. Brett and I are probably the two most closest football fans in the studio, because
probably
Brett and I both went to like a big football.
Like football.
Oh no, it's you and me. Yeah, that, of course.
Probably us, yeah.
But Brett and I both went to like a big football college.
Yeah.
Also, so I think I'm really excited to be an announcer, but I do have a team that I'm working on. I'm much further behind than you are, and hopefully than everybody else is. Hopefully. Saray. I have the Dwarf team here, and I'm actually really excited about them. And not only do I have this box, Megan, which is what I'm working through right now, our mod Vino and dear friend Vino gave me a bag of his.
Yeah, the bag of dwarves.
Some of these guys were saying some of the factions, and Liberty Fires, who's a member of our channel, big supporter of our channel, has been, friend of ours, of course, has been saying dwarves. He thinks I think he said are one of the teams. I think your team isn't one of those teams, but some factions you want to get 2 boxes.
Oh, okay.
Because you might not want the exact loadout they give you.
Yeah.
And so that was awesome of Vino to give me one. So he gave me a box. I still have this box I'm working through. I also have the star player. I put him together on stream
a while ago.
A few weeks back. He's the dwarf with the rocket launcher that shoots the football, which I'm kind of excited about. So I'm going to keep hacking through these. I've been thinking a lot about color scheme.
Yeah.
We're going to talk. I'm going to be made today to talk about my dwarf.
You're going to be forced to talk about
we'll get
your
there.
Dwarf, not army, team. Meg.
Yeah, so we will get there. What the plans are for that.
Yeah.
And I think that's it.
Yeah, and then at some point you will play this on the channel. You're just just not going to be part of this kickoff league or tournament.
The main issue, a little behind the scenes, is that I'm doing a lot of catch up for us on certain armies for Sigmar. For example, the crossover from 3rd to 4th left, like a lot of Stormcast players, left our Stormcast somewhat in shambles.
In its wake.
In its wake. If you are a fan of live AOS on our channel, you'll notice we haven't had Stormcast on very often. So them and a couple other factions, we're bumping up with the number of models. We have new factions coming. Mm-hmm. A lot of that falls to me. So we kind of said, yeah, maybe Zach doesn't have time to paint a Blood Bowl team.
Yeah, maybe not.
So, but I will have time to paint a Blood Bowl team in over time beyond the next couple weeks, because we're starting soon here. And then I'm actually looking forward to playing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our first game is going to be the 29th of September. And we'll share some graphics and stuff once that's put together. But yeah, that's going to be when we kick off this tournament.
We have some mail time we want to talk about.
We do.
Before we get to mail time, Meg, can you just show people where you're at with your stuff? I
sure.
know a lot of people will have seen, because you've been working on these.
Yeah, I've been working on it for a little bit.
But I think that, man, these are coming out so good.
Thanks.
And I have been, as if you're wondering what the joke about me being dead was, I've been very sick.
I'm getting over it as well.
Meg is getting over it.
So that's why Saray's not here. I'm normally used to seeing them. This is my star player of my Nurgle army. I'm still working on these. Yesterday I got through the pants and all the shoulder pads. So today I want to work through like the little details. So we have like, I don't know, little weird knee plates and some bandages. What else? Boots, shoes, all these little things that I'm like not excited to work on. I want to knock those out, because the best part for me is the skin. Like, I'm very excited to paint the skin, so I'm going to leave that for last, and I can jam through. What I expect to do is we'll probably be hobby hanging after the stream tonight, and I'll hopefully wrap them up. I'm actually hoping to finish painting these today, if possible.
Great.
Yeah, you guys know how I am. So yeah, that's where I'm at. They're mostly done. It's just like little detail stuff that I'm going to pull out and then skin.
Mostly done.
Yeah.
Wow.
I wanted to try doing like some slight, like, I don't know, non-metal metallic. It's not quite metallic, because these are not meant to look like, I don't want them to look too pretty, right? Because they're Nurgle and they're dirty football players. I think the blue is pretty, but I did want a little bit of shine in the metallic, like, trim.
It looks really great.
Thanks. So there we go. I'll be working on that today.
Very good. Should we tackle a little mail time before we
Can we try and do this all stream? Yeah. You're like, I don't know where to go next.
Yeah.
I'm out of puns.
Not that good. Let's do this. Okay, why don't you show off what we got here, because it is Blood Bowl related. You're the Blood Bowl person here now.
I am okay, I hope there is somebody in chat who knows Blood Bowl better than me, because again, like, I'm new to it. Mm-hmm. Like I said, when you guys watch us play, it's going to be a bit of like us learning as well as playing. And hopefully you're learning with us. But Rudy, and we'll get to Rudy's super chat also. I dropped some paint, but it's fine.
Okay.
It didn't spill. Rudy sent us some custom Blood Bowl like tokens. This is I believe this is like a pass measuring stick, right? You don't know. I'm like,
I have not played
it's the
for
blind
a while.
leading the blind.
Yeah.
But this is, he had this custom made for us. There's our logo in the middle. It's got our colors, and it has our copper plate font that we use on Age of Sigmar.
Yeah.
So, pretty freaking cool.
Yeah.
This is, I think, for the passes. Hey, Rudy. This is the template for when you drop the ball, and
it shows what hex it goes to.
Kick off the ball. Right. I'm going to pull it out of the bag, though. Oh, it's tight. It's real tight in there. Again, it has our logo in it. This is from TNT Laserworks. Thank you for calling that out, Rudy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is our like template now for where the ball's going to land on a kickoff. Yeah. And I think if you drop the ball and it scatters, like, that's what this is for. Interesting that the one starts at the top and goes around like that. I think the one in the book is a little different. They're all different, right? Doesn't matter. Point is that it's consistent. Thank you, Rudy. This, I forget what this is. I was like, oh, I need to ask Liberty, and then I forgot to ask him when we were hobby hanging. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I forget what this measures, like what this tells us on the field. So if somebody in chat knows, please remind me. I'll figure it out when I read the rules again. But, you know, we're having like a Blood Bowl day at our house this weekend.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, unless we're still sick. Yeah, so there's that. Thank you, Rudy. That is super helpful. And it's very cool because it's branded. Our colors, our logo.
Colors,
That's so cool. It's awesome. I love that. Should we get through Rudy's super chats and then we'll hop to the next mail item?
Yeah, thanks for the gift of memberships, Rudy. As always, we appreciate the support.
We enjoyed the party lights before the stream.
Of all people, you managed to snag Chapter Master Ball Sack, which
that was pretty great.
We appreciate it. Rudy says, "Hi, Hobby Club fam. No work today, but making travel preparations. Is there any interest in any of the Kraken 3D Studios STL files, Stadium Lights, Scoreboard?"
Oh my gosh.
I don't know how to get the STL files.
Rudy, I was looking at it. You sent this, and I'm like, I'm going to take a look and see what I want, what looks interesting, what you guys might like to see on the tabletop. I love the stadium lights.
Yeah, they were pretty cool.
I showed those to Brett already. It's good that you called this out now, because I had found a set of stadium lights on Etsy and I was going to buy them. But this is way better because then they match. You know, everything feels Blood Bowl-y. But yeah, like the stadium lights look cool. I showed it to Brett. He's like, "Oh yeah, we could totally hook that up with lights, real easy." It has like a little hole lights, in it, to like string your lights through. So that's pretty cool. And then the other item was that I was interested in were the stadiums for sure, because I think it'd be very cute to have like one of our camera angles we want to have like head on, like on the field. So it'd be kind of cute to have the stadium in the back, and with like our minis that we've painted, right, and put them in the stands. That would be very cool. I also saw some dudes like holding a banner. You know, like they're rooting for their team. There's like 3 guys with a big banner that looked kind of fun. And the other thing that stood out to me was the billboards. They have like rickety billboards where you can paint, like put your sponsors.
Oh,
like,
that's fun.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't, you know, so Rudy, if you want to send any of those are the top of mind. I did ask the rest of the team, so maybe if they hop into chat, they can let us know.
I think Blood Bowl is like a fun, because it mirrors American football. I think it could be really fun to. This is like the one place, because we're not really like, oh, sponsor us. Oh, we're not like super aggressive about we like support from our fans. But as far as companies and stuff go, we're not really like that. Mm-hmm. It could be fun to, in addition to fan sponsorship, to be aggressive and annoying about it in Blood Bowl.
Oh my God, we could do a Squad Marks billboard.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That'd be really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are the things that interested me. I think to send like an STL, you need an email address. And our email address is chat@thehobbycollab.com. So you could just have them sent there.
Yeah.
Excuse me. You know, like I said, we're still sick.
Yep. Still sick.
That's why we can stream together, because we make out anyways. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
But yeah, so that is very generous of you, Rudy. Thank you so much again for all the gifts. You're really making this like just so enjoyable for everybody who's watching, for the audience. Yeah, so we really appreciate that.
We appreciate the Blood Bowl support. There's Dan. We know Dan.
There's Dan Roberts is in chat. He's going to be playing on the channel. He's amazing. You're going to love him.
I think he's going to be. I think Dan is my pick to go the whole
to win it all. Probably, yeah. Definitely not me.
It's Dan or Bryce or Angela, I think, are gonna be.
Yeah, it's gonna be a guest. Yeah. Like, you guys are gonna get to know these guests, and they're gonna sweep the whole thing.
I don't think it's gonna be any.
It's not the Hobby Collab, but that's all right. We don't have egos here.
Okay, so talk about this. This is pretty cool.
Next mail. So this came from Mike. Thank you, Mike.
This got here fast.
I know. I didn't realize somebody was actually sending this, but I was opening it and I was like, what am I going to do with this Space Marine? It's the Nurgle. What does this DG stand for?
Death Guard.
Death Guard. Thanks.
Yeah.
Because I don't play 40K. Yeah, it's Death Guard Nurgle. It's with the sassy.
Yes, Rudy. Chat at the Hobby Club, just like that.
Yep, with the sassy Nurgle.
Yeah.
Sassy Nurgling. Here, put it on the screen.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna definitely this will be after I finish my team. This is gonna be my next project for Blood Bowl.
There he is.
Is my sassy. Let's see. There we go. My mascot. There's this guy. He's so cute. I love it. Oh my God, is Ty sending me one too? Okay, so
multiple sassy nerdlings on the way.
Yeah, and I want to add this to the base also. So there's just like a couple nurglings. There's this little nurgling over here too. So I like the idea of doing like a stack of nurglings to do for my mascot. So appreciate that, Mike, so much. That was really sweet of you. Oh my God.
We were driving. We were running some errands today. It's the first time I'd been out of the house in like.
Well, you were staying in the car. I was running around.
But but it was the first time I had been out of like I said out of
the house,
out of our place. And so you had gone in and you were like, what is this? Like, why did somebody send me a Death Guard?
Give this to me, yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I think, is that, I couldn't remember. I remember you guys talking about, I couldn't remember where the Sassy Nurgling kit was.
Yeah.
But it is from a Death Guard.
Yeah.
Thank you, Molecule, for the super chat. We know this guy. He says, have Brett build LCD display boards for the sidelines like football. Run live ads there. Charge millions. Give me commission and let me run my own ads. Well.
Wow. How did it went like full circle back to Molecule.
Yeah, that
like Molecule gets
escalated quickly.
to run ads.
There's a lot. Yeah, I think there's a lot of fun things we could do. I think there's even a degree of like of a view where maybe we have an actual billboard, like if we're doing the same like player versus player view that we do now, where we could have a real billboard in between people and have an augmented reality ad displayed on that billboard that you're seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what's funny about...
And then YouTube will be like, wait, what are you doing?
What are you doing? You can't do that. I love this idea though. Like a little billboard with like ads.
Well, the nice thing...
I mean, you guys will see. I have some ideas.
There's some ideas Meg's got.
For sponsorships and how we can feature that on the streams, so stay tuned. But you know what's funny about this is not a game I think where you want to stand and like engage in the game that way.
I assumed you guys would be
so
sitting.
small. Like the board is very small, especially compared to Age of Sigmar and 40K, and it's very much like chess. Like you're sitting there like thinking and kind of like maneuvering really quickly, and your turn might be 5 minutes because you might, cause a turnover like by falling on your face or whatever. Like that happens all the time. So standing, it's not necessary. Like you're not moving around the board and like eyeing up different areas the same way you do in Age of Sigmar.
No, we've seen we've seen the people playing the game at tournaments. Mm-hmm. I've never seen Blood Bowl people standing.
No, you wouldn't. Yeah, so we won't be able to have I don't know if we'll have a billboard between us on the table. But
behind and between, right? Like up against our back wall or whatever.
Yeah.
One day, anyway.
Right. My point is that like in the overlays I've built, it's a little more focused on each person individually rather than one giant.
Right.
It's really, really highly focused on the game itself. Like you would a football game, right? Like when you're watching a football game, you're watching the players move around. You're just kind of zoomed into the line of scrimmage and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, sorry, my eye's itching. Weird. Yeah, it's just a little different compared to Age of Sigmar, where it's like
there's a central neutral like space.
Yeah. Anyway, So it will feel a little different when you're watching it if you watch our Age of Sigmar games. And we'll happily accept your feedback because we do, like I said, want to make this a thing. Like, we want to add this game to our catalog of stuff we can play for you guys. Right,
Yeah.
right now it's Age of Sigmar, it'll be Blood Bowl, and Battle Masters.
Yeah. and as cool as Battle Masters
Love
is,
Battle Masters.
and as much as like
We need to play it
no
again.
other channels really do it.
No. That's something you only get at the Hobby Club.
Yeah, then
Fully painted Battle Masters.
we also understand that there's not a high demand for it. You guys aren't routinely asking us for more
Battle Masters?
more Battle Masters.
A Battle Masters campaign would be pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie, I would love that actually. Thank you for the party lights, Tactile Sun. Got my Hobby Collab shirt and stickers. Yay, love them. I'm glad you got those. Yeah, I've been paying attention to the Etsy shop because I mailed those out this week.
Yep.
And I'm like, who's got their stuff? Who's got their stuff? And people are posting their stickers and whatnot.
Battle Masters is the cowbell of tabletop.
in our Discord.
Meg, the dwarves have these weird. It's a really easy kit to put together, but I'll pass and kind of show what I'm talking about here. The dwarves have these very weird little. On their back there, you see there's like a little hole, and then what you put in it is this thing. If you want to show that, and it looks pretty Meg's here. She goes. She's gonna try it out, but wow, it goes it goes the other way.
Wait, really? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yes, okay, so, right. So, but it's actually kind of hard to figure it out, and it's been a little bit of the bane of my existence in putting these guys together.
Really?
Yeah, because it's not, you're like, how hard could that be? That doesn't make any sense. What is he talking about? Whichever way you think it's going to go, it doesn't seem to ever go that way. And you're like, well, it's just a square, but it's actually not. It has these hexagonal edges, and the peg, doesn't seem to fit in all the time. And then it sticks out. I don't know what's going on with these
Sorry,
things.
Zach.
If anyone, listen.
Sounds like this might be too hard for you to do.
No, let me just say that if anyone else has put a dwarf team together, and maybe you know what I'm talking about, because I feel like it's the type of thing where anyone who's put the team together is going, yep, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
What's going on with those things? We all have that when we have our GW army that we all put together. We're like, oh, how'd you enjoy putting that unit together? And everyone's like, ugh. For Night Haunt, it's Spirit Hosts. Everyone has something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, the orcs have the same thing. Yeah, it's like a little thing on. It's I guess where their number goes, which is cool. Is it designed to be like taken out and swapped around or something? Because I'm really not getting it. But that's okay. All right, thank you, Christopher. Chris, we know this guy.
We know this guy.
Chris says, "I hope you feel better soon, Zach." Thanks,
tell
Chris.
me about it.
Oh, yeah. This is my second go around with COVID.
Yeah, this is our second time.
And last time, I do remember similarly that nothing was scary, actually. Especially after we avoided COVID forever. We got it, and we journaled our symptoms. And I recently, when I was at my sister's, her and I were talking about COVID. And this was just right after Nova. Mm-hmm. And I pulled up the note on my phone, and we were going through the symptoms you and I experienced together, and I checked the date, and you and I didn't get COVID until August of 2022.
It was very annoying. I had gone to a work event, like a work-sponsored event.
That's right.
And it was an outdoor baseball game.
Yeah.
And I got COVID at the freaking baseball game.
Yeah, that's
it was
right.
crazy. So
I forgot about that.
yeah. I was pretty annoyed about that. Like, how does one get, I don't know. Yeah, so it's been, 2 years since we've had COVID, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 years, and like on the dot almost, because we got it like late August, early September last time.
Had to get it at Nova, or you know what, on the plane ride home.
Our working theory.
I must have.
My sister and her family didn't have it.
They didn't have it, right?
Our working theory is that you got it on the plane, and then I got it when I came
and
back.
I didn't even realize I had it because I'm just so used to being tired all the time.
Yeah, you were pretty miserable last week.
And it kind of it came back a bit this week. Yeah. So anyway, not fun. But why are we talking about this?
I was just saying,
Nurgle.
I don't know.
Thanks a lot, Nurgle.
It's Nurgly, but for me, what's been interesting about it is, what made me even think that we had some tests in there from, a lot of people probably laying around, and what made me think to even go in and test was that I was like, you know what? I'm like experiencing a lot of very annoying symptoms.
Annoying, yeah, that's one.
That's kind of how I describe COVID.
At this point,
you get
it's like it feels like the flu, I guess, right? But I didn't have a fever.
No,
I didn't have fever or chills or any of that.
I mean, fever and chills. If fever and chills are bad, I've had bad fever and chills before, like that one I had last year when our niece was out. That was really scary, actually. And I had a fever of 103.
That one was pretty bad. That wasn't COVID though.
It wasn't COVID.
Being sick.
It wasn't COVID. And it's kind of weird is. Just like COVID just gives you like these, or for me anyway, and it just gives us like every symptom imaginable, but like a really small, annoying version of it. Like, hey, you want a slightly scratchy throat?
That's true, yeah.
Want like a dry cough that you'll cough
that
like
never goes away.
That like you'll have like a coughing spell of like 4 to 8 coughs 3 times a day, or like slight decongestion, like little minor headache. It's just like a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Good morning, madman. You're awake. Nice to see you. Well, Zach, we should probably take a minute. I do want to talk about like your army, or not your army. I keep calling it an army, right? I'm stuck in AOS mode. It's a team.
Okay.
It's a team that does do killing, so could be an army.
Yeah.
Yeah, you chose the Dwarf Giants, which is, what do we call that? It's like an oxymoron.
Yes. They're being silly.
Yeah, I'm curious about like why, and oh no, look at what happened. Oh, bummer.
What should be here?
Yeah, just click the thing, the slides. Nope, open that. I'll do it if you want. Yeah, there's Zach's team. It's polar bears in a snowstorm. Yeah, we got it.
Yeah. Well.
Anyways, he chose dwarves. We're gonna talk about it. There it is.
Yeah, I have plenty I can talk about here. So, thing number one is we love asking people on different shows. Brett and I love this question in particular. We love asking people why. Oh, and by the way, before I answer this question, I want to address Tactilson, who's the only one who bit with my what's the horrible thing to build, and he said a Pentium engine. Back with that's like a sisters of battle, witch hunters. He said, metal model, right? Yeah, metal from forever ago. Yeah, I mean that era of 3rd edition Warhammer 40K Tactical Sin. I feel like most stuff was a lot of stuff was a nightmare to put together. Metal models, especially, right? So anyway. We like asking people why they picked an army. And I'm using the term army here on purpose, not team. And for me, I always kind of, I'll often encourage people. First, I should say that when people, like this happens on Reddit, people will say, what army should I play to get into Age of Sigmar? And, people work differently, of course, in their brain. I struggle with that.
I don't know how to answer stuff like that.
I don't necessarily know how to. Well, I've come up with a way I try to encourage people to think about it, but I also am sort of like, I don't know, man. How do you not already know? Like that's kind of how I usually feel. Like
you call him a bozo too?
No, I don't. I'm always a little surprised that they haven't, I guess, made up their mind already or whatever, right?
Hey, Soups.
So, I typically tell people to think of 3 things. The lore.
Yeah.
The visualness of the army. And I think I would say the hobby potential is kind of part of that.
Yeah.
And then finally I would...
stats. right?
The play style.
Yeah.
Yeah, the play style. And usually I encourage people for that to think of all three of those. I have to say that when I played Warhammer 40,000 more, I really only played 2 armies. I kind of started to play a 3rd army, which was Alpha Legion. And all 3 of the armies I played, Tau, Asuryani, and then Alpha Legion, piqued my interest in all 3 of those ways. 40k is kind of nice because most armies you can almost shoehorn any playstyle into most armies.
Okay.
The smaller a game gets, such as Blood Bowl, Sigmar being kind of in the middle, that starts to dry up a little bit. In other words, if you want to play Horde Tau, you can. If you want to play Elite Tau, you can. If you want to play Vehicle Tau, you can. If you want your Tau to be more durable, you can. More fast, blah, blah, blah. You can do that. 40k, the armies the collections are so big and versatile that a lot of armies can kind of do that. And I think in the past 15 years, especially, folks in chat, correct me if you think I'm wrong, but I think in the past 15 years, with Necrons especially, but also with Space Marines and with Tau and with Tyranids, I think they've really made that the case. Like, I don't think there's not a style of force you can't play with those. So I get why people would then come into Sigmar, come into something smaller like Blood Bowl and say, well, I don't, in my current 40k playing, I can play anything. I can play any playstyle. But all that said,
not really Tyranids.
No, I think Tyranids now you can.
I'm like, there's no shooting. Oh, okay.
No, they've changed a lot, and since you've not played Tyranids, they've had 2.
Been a long time.
They've had 2 huge releases, including being the starter box, right? For the last edition of 40k, they were the Leviathan. They were the starter box.
Don't get any ideas, Chris. I'm not.
And I think what they released, Meg, there's a new type of Termagant, right, folks, that has like 2 giant guns on his hand. So,
cute.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, sorry.
All this is a long-winded way of saying that when I picked the Dwarf army to play, I did 2 things. One, I didn't super care about lore.
Okay.
Because it's Blood Bowl. Part of Blood Bowl, I think, is just, it's goofy and fun. I don't super care about reading about the lore of the teams and being like, oh, wow, that's very cool. The Dwarves team has this lore. Like, I just don't care about the lore for this team. I care about lore in Sigmar. I care about lore in 40k. I don't really care about lore in Blood Bowl.
Sure.
I'm
kind of with you.
I picked this team.
We're playing football.
Right. I picked this team solely, folks, off how it looks. Aww. I think it looks super cool. Keep in mind, this team came out when I was playing 40k. I was not playing Sigmar at the time. I don't know that Sigmar existed. We can look up when this team came out, but it was not too far from around, I'm going to say, 2015, 2016 era. Somewhere around there. Sigmar maybe had just kicked off. But there weren't really a lot of new dwarves. I don't know that KO had come out yet. These are really cool looking dwarves. Look at this big guy right here. Like,
I love the jewels in his beard, yeah.
The jewels.
That's why I picked this to show, because I thought it was the coolest looking one.
The armor is very, like, Minoan, but very heavy. Like, I like, they even have, like, plates that drop over parts of their beards and armor their beards a bit and stuff. I'm a big fan of this Stormcast style armor where, like I said, Minoan, Antiquity, where it's a face, as opposed to like grading or whatever that you see more in the Middle Ages.
Yeah.
So I just thought they looked cool. I don't love the Troll Slayers. I'm guessing they're probably very good. Those are the ones who are like on their beard. Like their beard is walking.
This one?
Yeah.
This guy, like, he's literally... Okay, that's what's happening. I just thought he was jumping.
I think
and
so.
And the beard was, like, kind of there.
The beard,
but you're saying, like, he's using it to get around?
No,
it's like a prehensile beard?
I don't think so, but it looks kind of like that, right? Like he's... like it's like...
No, they don't.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So I don't love the Troll Slayers, although... and I haven't played Blood Bowl in forever, and I've never played the Dwarves. I'm having a slight guess that they're good, and that I'm gonna
a little bit of a guess. What makes you say that? What makes you think they're good?
Because
Is there anything about their stats that's sticking out to you?
no, most teams have like blitzers, runners, passers, blockers, right? Stuff like that. And then some have a specialty position. Like yours has something called a bloater or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Troll Slayer is the one, is the
Okay.
special one for mine.
Here, let me get mine out. And then we can also look at, let's see.
Yeah, but the thing you have here, the
bloaters,
the
yeah.
data you have here for my for the dwarves is not the dwarves.
Is that wrong?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's Hobgoblin, Chaos Dwarves. This looks like maybe the Chaos Dwarf.
Maybe it's older. Because I
Yeah.
went to, okay, that's fine. If I grab the wrong one, I grab the wrong one. But we can look, because it's in the book.
Oh, okay.
And I have the book.
Yeah.
So you can look at it. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. So
It's a skate beard.
So I've literally picked this army for, honestly, folks, for its visuals. I had a hunch that this would not be necessarily a play style that I would be into.
Oh, yeah.
And that's kind of my issue with...
I grabbed that weird one.
That's kind of my issue with
Sorry, guys.
with dwarves in general. Is I usually end up thinking dwarves are cool. Like, same with, like, Lord of the Rings universe. I typically think the dwarves are cool. I think that they are... thank you. I think that dwarves are cool. I think that they look cool. I usually kind of like their lore. Their kind of grumpy attitude I can at least appreciate. Sometimes I find... Because oddly enough, I tend to play elves in Sigmar, right? I have an elf army. And about to start a second elf army.
Elf.
But I like elf playstyle more than dwarf playstyle. But I sometimes in lore, in like elves can get kind of annoying.
Elf.
Yeah. So I'm excited for how they look. I'm guessing their playstyle won't super excite me. And the biggest reason I think that that's probably going to be the case is that when I watch football, I particularly like college football. When I watch football, I'm not really excited by a team that runs the ball well.
Okay.
I'm more excited by a team that passes.
Passes, yeah.
And I really like a team that has pass diversity. So short passes to a tight end, short quick passes, pass to the sides, pass down the middle, long passing. And I'm not super into teams that just run the ball well. That's usually kind of a boring football game.
Okay.
And the Dwarves don't throw the ball at all.
Okay.
So
good job.
So it's not what I would.
Do they throw each other? Are they small? Probably not.
I don't think so.
The goblins can get thrown and stuff like that. Yeah.
I think the big thing that makes them nasty that I understand is that basically everyone can block.
Yeah.
And apparently that is a problem for a lot of armies to deal with.
Yeah.
You've played a few games.
I've played 2 games.
2 games.
I'm not an expert.
So maybe
guys.
you could think about what that would be like if the opposing team. Dan says passing is never a good idea anyway. Blood Bowl. I kind of remember that, Dan, but I think the one time I played most recently, I was Wood Elves, which I know are also a most hated team, and I think they're like the one exception that is good at passing or something.
Dan, really quick, what is this tool for? Tell me. You have to tell me. I don't know. I forget. Okay. Thanks. Yeah, I think I need to like look up again. Like I don't even have mine memorized. We're gonna get a lot of practice in with you, Dan, this weekend, and hopefully I'm gonna commit this to memory. I know mine is pretty tough. Like they are good at like protection, I think. That's fair though, Zach, because when I was playing Liberty, I wanted to just constantly foul him, like beat him up and kick him while he's on the ground.
Yeah. And
he was like, stop being mean to me. But like my team doesn't get extra fouls or anything like that. Like,
that's like an orc thing.
I should have went with a team. But I like the way my team looks. Like I was talking about this the other day on Sunday with Bryce. I wanted to paint something Nurgle-y because I like Nurgle-y looking stuff, but I don't want a whole Nurgle army, so this was perfect. Although I'm painting this and I'm like, God, I hate painting shoes. I don't want to paint shoes and belts. Ugh. That's the only thing.
I'm looking at
That's my only problem.
I'm looking at all the other teams now and trying to figure out if I picked the wrong one.
You picked the wrong one.
And I've yet to see that I have.
Yeah. Wow.
Although I will say, maybe the only other, and I think these are at this point just star players. Yeah, I think. Oh wow, that's a witch elf. I think the only other one I might have done is just this Elven Union team.
Elven.
These guys look cool.
Oh, they are Elven. I lied.
Yeah, in Old World they're Elven.
Oh, is this the one that I grabbed? Maybe this is the bad one that I grabbed.
No, this is.
Oh, this is it. Okay, yeah, I don't know.
This is right.
I don't know what.
This team looks cool. I don't think anyone's playing any of these.
Okay. Well,
John
we do.
John is Wood Elves, right?
Was he Wood Elves or Dark Elves? I think he chose Dark
One
Elves.
or the other two.
But yeah,
these are just like the High Elves. They
in
look
our
cool.
Discord, we have it listed out in our Blood Bowl channel what everyone's playing. So you'll be able to see what teams you're going to see upcoming in our tournament. Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, Dan says High Elves are good at passing. Dang it. That's the one that I said it looks cool too. All right. Well,
you did it wrong, Zach.
I will.
High Liberty.
I will
Good to
maybe.
see you.
I will maybe.
How's your AOS night going?
Thinking about picking that up.
Yeah.
And having a High Elf team as well. And I can play either. But yeah, the High Elves look cool to me.
Okay.
Okay. Well, now I know.
Now you know. Now you can throw these out and get yourself a High Elf.
No, the Dwarves, the Dwarves, both these two teams look very cool. And they're both here on the same page in the book.
Oh my gosh, Meg, I'm so embarrassed. I'm so sorry I picked the wrong stats for you to talk about.
So they're both here on the same page. And they both look pretty cool to me. So I would paint both teams.
Yeah. If I got a second team, it's funny because I'm being told I should get orcs or the goblins or I forget whoever does a lot of fouling. And no, I don't want that. I don't want that. I want the gnomes.
The gnomes.
Because they look cute to paint. I love cats, but their play style is not something I would enjoy, I think.
Well, this says...
I'm going to make myself like it if I get another one.
This says Elven Union teams.
Okay. So...
It says the Elfheim Eagles, the Celestial Comets, the Chlamydian Clarions.
The Chlamydian Clarons?
These guys, their rules probably are more...
Speaking of chlamydia, you guys play them as orcs. Oh, that's fair. You guys named my team. I had chat name my team on Wednesday. Mm-hmm. It is the Clap Givers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Great. Sounds great.
Megan's Clap Givers. And then 4 people sponsored my players. If you want to sponsor one of my players, you are welcome to do so. These are the names that Chad has come up with so far. And I will be putting these names on the bases. I also have thoughts on how I want to put you, the sponsors, on the model themselves so that it says it's sponsored by you. Okay, so I've Pig Belly Pus Bucket from Soups. That's one of my bloaters. Wobbles Blunderbutt from Asimov. And Divine from Pat.
From Pat.
Yeah. Tactile Sun named one of my pestigors. Actually, yeah, one of my pestigors. Blobby Thunderpuss. Thunderpuss. Yeah, so that's going to be... Those are going to be on the bases. The names will be on the bases. And then I have some thoughts on how I'll put you on the model itself. And yeah, there's room for more sponsorships if anybody wants to name another player. But I was doing that for, if you want to sponsor a player, it's $10 a player, $20 for the for the star player. I love this concept of, yeah, I love that, Umi. I love the concept that everything is for sale, just like in real sports.
Just like in real sports.
Yeah. Like we're going to name the pitch after Rudy because he's donated so much fun stuff for Blood Bowl. So Rudy will be featured in the center of the pitch.
I love it.
Yeah.
He deserves it.
Oh my gosh, I know.
Yeah, Yeah, it is. It's exciting for that very reason.
It's super funny.
It's
yeah.
perfect for that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. And then I need the back of this guy. So I'm assembling a troll slayer right now.
Okay, I'm just painting shoes.
So, yeah, anyway, why I picked the dwarves, purely based on how they look. It looks like, so wait, is the team I showed, I showed on the page, the elves, have they been released in plastic or no? The Elfheim Eagles? Yeah, they've been released in plastic.
Okay.
Yeah, I would play Elfheim Eagles also. Maybe I'll get those at some point and we'll see. But I'll stick with the dwarves for now. And I haven't even played the game, so I should play the dwarves. Like I said, I have a hunch it's not my play style. Because I don't like dwarf play style typically. But
classic.
Yeah, but Elf Union is a plastic, High Elves are not plastic.
Because playstyle is so important. Because that's just what you're going to be doing. Like you can try and foul everybody, but you won't be allowed to.
Your team just doesn't do that.
It only gets to do it
so
once.
You and I, on our first foray into Blood Bowl, picked what we thought looked cool.
That's pretty much it.
And listen, you know what? Here's the reality to this. And this is why I don't feel bad about having a Cities of Sigmar army or a Slaves of Darkness army. Two armies I have no interest in playing. I like having the armies. At some point, there's a possible future where the Hobby Collab has ended as a business.
Guys, we're not introducing that.
We're not introducing it, but
to the world.
Megan and I will have all these armies and these teams. And we can play with friends. And I mean, we can also do that while the Hobby Collab is a thing.
Yeah.
But the point is that,
we're literally doing that on Sunday.
We're literally doing that. Yeah. Like if friends come to the house to play Blood Bowl and I have some extra teams, I know Dan is the same way. And I have these extra teams fully painted. Awesome. Who cares? And if dwarves end up not being the army I'm like really wanting to get behind and play, cool. Who cares? I'll play Elfheim Eagles or whoever it is, right?
Yeah.
But the dwarves do look cool in the interim. I'm excited to paint them up. Should I talk about my painting thoughts for this army?
Sure.
Or am I jumping ahead? Were we going to do that or no?
No, go for it. Yeah, this is your time, Zach.
Okay, so let me go back to the discussion here. So
with all the wrong stats. Sorry,
that's
guys.
okay. Ignore the stats. Ignore the stats. So I love the box art. I love the color in the box art. The turquoise.
Yeah, it's pretty.
So I won't say I've ruled that out yet, but to be honest with you, I know this is going to sound kind of boring. I'd honestly like to do like a very highlighted black. And I think I'd like to do it not brown black, and maybe not blue black, but maybe purple black.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then the other way I thought about doing it is maybe not black, but like insanely dark navy. So I don't know if you guys knew this, but there was a point in time, I'm pretty sure, and it might have been as late as the 90s, where the Yankees colors were not black and white, like we kind of think of them now, but really, really, really dark super blue. Dark blue.
That's what I thought. They were dark blue.
I think they have either switched from one to the other at some point. But yeah, like that's kind of what I might do. Just insanely dark blue. Like AK makes some. I might get a couple AK. Like start with a really, really, really dark blue, almost black, and highlight up a little bit. Are they still dark blue, Liberty? He says they are.
I was gonna say I think they're dark blue.
I feel like in the 90s it was. I guess when I was a kid, I just didn't think about it. It always just felt very black to me. So, okay, yeah, kind of like Yankees dark blue, just like super, super, super dark blue. Because I actually like the look of the all the different beard colors here.
Yeah.
So I'd like to do different beard colors.
Yeah.
So, and I think the black, black, I think I'll probably do like black and gold.
Yeah.
And then different beard colors.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, are you going to do natural beard colors, or are you going to get weird with it the way our Fire Slayers are? Because our Fire Slayers all have blue hair.
Or my Witch Elves.
Yeah.
With their white and pink hair. No, I think I'll do natural.
Okay.
I think I'll do natural. I'll probably do Troll Slayers orange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, that's sort of my intuition going into this.
Yeah. Well, we do have a quiz for you because Zach is in this room, the least educated about Blood Bowl. Now, you said you played 5 years ago. We'll see how much of it sticks. But yeah, we do have a quiz for you.
But I did pass part 1 of the quiz, which is immediately recognize that this stat line did not match.
It's wrong. Yeah. I'm sorry. I was like, I grabbed the wrong screenshot.
I don't think the dwarf army had... Actually, these things that are named here...
You're like, I'm not even looking at these things. I'm like, oh, I just grabbed...
The things
Get it off the screen. I'm embarrassed.
The things that are named here, Hobgoblin...
Guys, support the channel.
Those are
make better.
Those are arch enemies of dwarves. I was like, I don't think they're on the team.
I'm sorry, you guys. I thought I was all on top of it today. Is that what it was, Liberty? I grabbed Chaos Dwarves.
Yeah,
I didn't grab the right. Yeah, that's all it is. Okay.
I was like, I think these are things that normal dwarves hate.
One dwarf, same as the other dwarf. They're just dwarves.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. Anyway, okay, you said there's a quiz.
There is a quiz for you. Yeah.
Oh, should I put this away? Or no, do I need this still?
You can keep it.
I'm kind of looking at it.
You want to, like, it can be your crib sheet. The book can be your crib sheet. It's one of those quizzes from high school where you're allowed help from the book. But, quiz question 1. Soups is jumping ahead. We'll call it question 0. It'll be index 0. What is the collective term for a group of Blood Bowl models?
A team? Wouldn't that just be a team?
I'm like, is he doing a pun? Is he doing a thing? Is this a bit?
Is this a bit? Is this the real quiz?
It's definitely not the real quiz.
Yay. Oh, okay. Ground question, because they do the...
Yeah.
By the way, I want to say, I don't have the death roller. I have to get the death roller.
It's an army, damn it.
Meg.
Okay. You should...
The death roller is like a... Apparently, the dwarves are just allowed to have a giant vehicle that runs people over. It's like a little tank thing.
All right.
I've seen it.
It runs people over.
Yep.
All right. Put your book down. We're taking a quiz. You ready?
I am.
You ready for your quiz? All right.
I'm sad I'm not playing Blood Bowl.
You should be sad because you were invited.
I know.
And, that's okay though.
No, we'll do it again.
It means we get more guests,
which is fun.
And you're going to be a really good announcer because you're funny.
Well,
I'm not funny. I can't be an announcer.
I'm not funny, but...
You're funny.
I appreciate it.
You're very funny. All right, quiz time, Zach. So let's take a look. There's a graphic that you need to look at in order to answer the question. What is this zone called?
Tackle zone is my guess.
You didn't even hear the options.
I see the options. Sorry,
but
you're right.
People who are listening.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry anyone who's driving right now.
What is this zone called? Is it the murder zone, the slow zone, or the tackle zone?
All right, I do think it is a tackle zone because I think that's a player, and I think it's showing an area adjacent cubes. They're not hexes.
Cubes. They're squares.
Squares.
Adjacent. Cubes are three-dimensional.
Well, cubes have
the friend zone.
Cubes actually.
That's what it is. That's where you put all your friends. Yeah. It's where you put all your friends and do tailgating around your guy.
So my vote is tackle zone.
Your vote. That's how quizzes work. They work with votes. Yep. Zach voted tackle zone. Guess what? It's tackle zone.
Yay.
Yeah,
okay.
Got it. Okay. So Zach knows things.
Yeah, I think this is really.
I think I'll be all right.
This is really a question. I think
I can do it.
All right. This is really a question of how well does Zach know GW games?
True.
Okay.
It's true.
All right.
All right. Do you want the next question?
Of course. Why not?
I don't know. Maybe you're tired of it.
I'm tired of the quiz.
What is the name of the Blood Bowl god? Is it Nuffle, Brian, or Tushtun?
I hope it's not Brian.
Why do you hope it's not Brian? Is there a specific reason why you hope it's not Brian?
I'm gonna say Tushtun.
Also, as I was looking for graphics, I found out that there are no pictures of this god. You can't find a picture of it.
Nuffle's too close to Nurgle. So I'm gonna say Tushtun.
You think it's Tushtun? Why do you think it's Tushtun?
Because I don't think it's Brian.
Yeah.
I
Think
don't.
it's Brian?
I don't think
Why
it's
not?
Nuffle because I think Nuffle is what you came up with when you couldn't think of anything and you just replaced the G's in Nurgle with F's.
Oh, wow. So it's also an insult at Meg's expense.
But I might be. Let's see.
No, you're wrong.
Oh wow!
It is Nuffle.
So it's not that you couldn't come up with
couldn't
another
come up
name.
with something, so
somebody,
I came up with Tushtune.
Tushtune's great. It's something that someone in Nottingham couldn't come up with something,
Yeah.
so they replaced the G's in Nurgles with F's.
Yeah, look, but Soup says it's from NFL. It's NFL, Nuffle.
Brilliant.
Pretty great. Good job, Matt Rose. We're gonna give this one to Matt Rose.
No, Matt Rose was 6 when this game came out.
I'm sure. I'm sure he was there in spirit. Thank you for the super chats, you guys.
Those aren't super chats.
They're not? Oh, okay. What are they?
Those are lies. I don't know. They're highlighted messages. I guess you can just do that for free now.
No, I think they're super chats. We're trying out some extensions to play with chat anyway, so it's changing the way it looks for us.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Hold on. Here's how we can test.
Yeah, let's test.
Because no freaking way I'm responding to these.
Don't respond if they didn't pay for it. They don't deserve.
No effing way.
There we go.
Yeah,
We're
see?
good.
They're not super chats.
Yeah, so I don't know what that's about. Anyway, that's fine. Okay. Let's do
Here, I'll go back to this.
That's fine. Do live.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like doing top.
Here, let's both.
Let's do it at the same time. Yeah. I like, like feeling like I'm not missing anything. Yeah, I don't know why I did that. Trick question. It's Matt Rose. Okay. We're going to do the next question. Let's not worry about this right now. It's kind of annoying.
Sorry, I'm just trying to get it down.
Zell Nasty, member for 13 months.
No,
ignore the free stuff, eh?
No, we don't ignore these.
We would never ignore you. Zell Nasty, we won't ignore you.
Yeah.
Lab Mandrill, 13 months. It's pretty awesome.
That is awesome. That means he has supported us.
For a long time.
We appreciate it. Yeah. And like I said, I wish I'd seen more Zell Nasty and Nova.
I know. Never enough.
Zell, do you do LVO?
Oh, should we sit here in silence and wait for the answer? All right, Zach, if you're the attacker, what does this dice symbol represent? Your mom, your down, or to recount hits of your?
Probably you're down.
Pretty good, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You're down, like down with it.
No, wait.
All right. While you're thinking about that, this is a tough one. Soups. 13 months. Another month, another milestone. Only 150 characters though. What to put? I'd better make it meaningful, not just waste the.
He ran out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep. Never gets old. We love that joke.
Did they give you more characters the longer you've been a member?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And Soups gave us an actual super chat.
Thank you, Soups.
Ends that statement with "damn it." You actually bought yourself more characters and just chose not to finish what you were going to say. I love it. Thanks, Soups. Thanks for everything you do.
Yeah.
That dice symbol means I could be playing Hero Quest. You know what else? Battle Masters.
I mean, a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's usually a bad thing to roll that.
Yeah.
I think. So
yeah.
I'm going to say.
I mean, it's a skull. It's death. Like, so yeah, it means you're down.
So then
if
you're down.
the attacker.
Okay.
It means you go down. Yeah.
Okay.
But did you like how I used all 3 types of your? Pretty good, Meg.
Oh, yeah.
All right. No one cares.
I didn't catch it at first.
All right. Which is not a way to cause a turnover in Blood Bowl? Some Butterfingers fails to pick up the ball. Okay. I should have put MF. Some Butterfingers motherfucker fails to pick up the ball.
Okay.
Your star player scores a touchdown or a re-roll action is taken.
A star player scores a touchdown?
Talk about it. Why do you think that is? All right, I need to paint. I'm never going to finish, you guys. I'm never going to finish. Just like I said, I'll never finish.
Calls a turnover.
Turnover. Yeah, so,
the ball goes to the other person.
Goes to the other person, right? You get like 8 turns and a half.
Well, this is a good question. I mean, the fact that you put star player there specifically is weird. Not weird, but I just don't. It makes me not sure what's going on.
Do you like how I gave you like a real quiz with like real tough choices for you to think about. Not like your nonsense quizzes where the obvious answer is always obvious.
No. The last one was so obvious.
Yeah, it's a mix, but look, I gave you this one. It's all tripping you up.
Well,
I love it. Also, Nuffle, you didn't know Nuffle? That was pretty great.
I don't think taking a reroll action would cause a turnover. Like, reroll action is probably something that's a benefit that you have so you can keep your turn going. But failing to pick up the ball, which would be like... Yeah, because I know that this game is not truly American football.
Well, no.
And what's worse about
closer to rugby, right?
Right. So what's worse about it is its goal was to be American football, but I don't think any Brit in the 80s cared to bother to learn a single thing about American football.
Matt Rose, how could you?
So I think you end up with this bizarre half version of rugby, half version of football. So and also like in American football, I don't think we like consider it a turnover when someone scores a touchdown. Yeah. I guess it is. The ball goes to the other player, but I don't think it's technically thought of as that. So I'm going to say 3. A reroll action is taken.
All right. Let's see if Zach's right.
Yep. Okay.
Wait a minute. Yeah. Because you're allowed to just do that. That happens all the time.
Yeah.
You get
that makes
rerolls.
sense. That makes sense.
I put star player specifically to trip you up. It could be when anybody scores a touchdown.
Right.
Also including your star player.
Okay.
Yeah. So good job, Meg. Tricked you, Zach.
No, you didn't. I got it.
Almost.
I
almost
the
tricked
answer.
him.
So
you're right. You did get the answer.
Didn't get me.
I didn't get you.
Is that the whole quiz?
No.
No, there's more. Okay.
No, there's one more.
Okay.
Which is an inducement that a coach can buy. So it's just like extra stuff you can buy for your team when you have extra funds. Schmeckles. I was calling them schmeckles.
Okay.
A ball inflator.
Okay.
A master chef or a water boy.
I'm going to guess water boy.
Why do you think that?
Because I think GW wants to be able to make a model of whatever the thing you can buy is.
Is there a water boy model?
I don't know.
I didn't notice.
Ball inflator could also be correct because
there's a lot of cheating, right?
Yeah, and also
Tom Brady.
We in the US we would call that a ball pump, which is what I think you would put. But if it was actually in a UK publication, they might call it that.
Okay.
So, but
I'm glad that this is tricky for you.
This is a good one.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and say I'm going to stick with water boy.
Water boy. All right.
Yeah.
Do you want to skip to the answer and see?
Yeah, we'll see how I did. It was Master Chef.
Master Chef is a real thing. And you know who would not shut up about it today? Liberty Fires. Liberty Fires is very excited to see somebody use a Master Chef. And you don't need to have... oh, that's right. Tom Brady went the other way. You don't need to have a model for it. You just have it. They're like in your staff off to the sides. But you could come up with a model for it, right?
Yeah.
And I forget what it does, Liberty. I don't know. It helps you.
I'm sure. So,
it helps you somehow, and I forget already.
For a minute.
This is what it's like playing a game with me, you guys.
For a minute until I kind of found her Instagram annoying. I followed this girl who was a chef for... she was the personal chef for a football player.
Okay.
And I can't remember who. And he was a football player. I want to say he was a receiver. I can't remember who it was. And his wife was like a model, but I mean she was a model. Which, not to take anything away from this statement, but she was a model in the sense that she was like an Instagram model. She wasn't like, which is how the whole industry is going now anyway. So anyway, yes, his wife was a model.
Okay.
He was a football player, and she was their personal chef. And it was super interesting to follow her Instagram because she spent a lot of time showing what she cooked for them, right? And it was interesting because it was like not as healthy as you would always imagine it was. But oftentimes it was, right? It was kind of fluctuating between like something like a smoothie, like with all kinds of crazy stuff in it,
Sure.
in the morning, and then like they might have like things you'd be shocked to see, like mashed potatoes and gravy and like fried chicken or something like that for dinner or whatever, right? It was kind of interesting to see what athletes ate. And, he also ate differently during the season as opposed to not the season, on game days, on nights before game days. Everything was very specific, right? And it seemed like a lot of work. And then she showed what she made to just like stock in their fridge in case they wanted to go grab a snack or if she wasn't there. Super interesting. So, of course, that would be part of, feeding athletes is a big deal.
Sure.
Makes sense.
It makes sense. But it's funny that it's an option, I think. Like, what an odd option.
Yeah, everything I'm talking about doesn't, I'm not left with the sense that the nerds in Nottingham at any point in the past 30 years of Blood Bowl's history, or however old this game is, thought about food and feeding athletes the way I am talking about it. I think they're just like, would it be funny if there was a master chef? You know what I mean?
I don't know. I can't go back in time and read Matt Rose's thoughts.
Again.
Matt
Rose was probably 4 or 5 when 6 maybe tops when this game came out. So.
Well. Still. We can blame him. Because that's what we do here.
I guess, yeah. Blame Matt Rose.
Blame Matt Rose. And then when something goes right, it's because of Matt Rose. So he gets the best of both worlds. All right. I'm doing non-metal metallic in places, and then like there's these little tiny like nails sticking out of him, and I'm actually using true metallics for that.
Dancing halflings. I would also assume like ogres might have some element of this.
Chat, how did you do on the quiz? Did you do better than Zach? I think you got 3 out of 5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You only missed Nuffle and
Chef.
Yeah.
It's specifically for halflings. Oh, okay. I see.
Quiz looked made up like Blood Bowl rules.
Yeah, I guess if I knew specifically for halflings, I might have guessed that.
Oh. Liberty made it sound like it was for everybody, unless I heard wrong, because that's also very probable that I missed what he was saying correctly.
Probably.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's only for. Oh, it's $100,000 for halflings, $300,000 for everybody.
There. Okay. Thank you. So, yeah. Thanks. Look, the quiz looks like it was made up. It was made up. I mean, everything's made up, right? Isn't everything made up? Oh, I'm on camera.
Yeah.
Lights, camera, and me without a stitch of makeup on. Anyway, yeah. So I'm true metal metallicing these nails because I gotta cut myself some slack somewhere. I do want to do a lot of non-metallic metal practice because Lumineth, oh my gosh, we got a huge shipment of Lumineth. Get John in here. So I'm gonna, after Blood Bowl, after I'm done with my team and we're done setting up like the stadium and all the extra bits for Blood Bowl, then I'm gonna move on to Lumineth. You guys get to watch me paint that forever. And that will be a lot of non-metallic metal painting. Thanks, Tactile Sun. Thanks, Madman. That was a quote. What was that quote from? You seen Drop Dead Gorgeous, Liberty Fires? Classic. It's so hard to find on DVD.
Is it?
Apparently.
No, it's like one of those
Yeah. Like Stargate. Journeys. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, Ty, because I loved Journeys. And I wouldn't mind doing it again. There it is. Okay. My problem is my schedule. So I think if I had to do it, it would be at some like god-awful UK friendly hour, maybe. Yes, Saray, I am. I'm not going to play it Midgar. I'm going to paint it and we're going to give it to John. It's going to be John's army, but you guys know he doesn't hobby, so we're going to do that for him. I don't think I want to play it. I mean, maybe. I might, maybe I'll take it if I'm really, really, really happy with how it comes out. Maybe I'll force myself to learn it for Old Town Throwdown next year so I can enter it in the painting challenge.
I mean, it wouldn't be bad to have a second person on the army. We that's not
Me
bad.
and John share everything, and John's better player on everything.
Well, he doesn't play Seraphon, and you don't play Flesh Eater.
I know, but that's fair. Okay, yeah. My Seraphon though is shared with Brett. Okay, no nails here. Great.
Yeah, the interesting thing, Ty, about Journeys.
I do want to bring it back.
We're both so sniffly. The interesting thing about Journeys is it's funny because it was highly conducive at one time for what the channel was doing. Which was that we were painting new AOS armies, right?
Well, we are all doing our own thing, and we were looking for ways to be entertaining, right? Like, what are some other hobby show ideas? Like, we weren't doing Age of Sigmar at the time when we had Journeys, so we had the time for it. And now, when you have a channel and you want to run games, because now, look, we're not even painting Age of Sigmar, we're painting Blood Bowl, because we want to bring Blood Bowl to you guys. So those things always take priority. Well, and the time, projects as far as what we're focusing on. And then also now we have time slots filled with games. So there's less time to choose from.
Right.
Like if I were going to do a Journeys, I would need to do it on a Saturday at this point, right? I wouldn't be a Sunday because we have our hobby stream. It would need to be a Saturday. But on Saturday, we do a game all day, in the first half of the day. And I don't want to do Journeys after that. Yeah. I'm tired. I don't want to have to be on.
Right.
If I'm going to do hobbying, I want to be in hobby hang and chill out and just relax with the community, right? So finding a good time for me to do Journeys, I think would have to be Friday evening. As long as we don't have plans, we never go out. So
no, that's not true. And also, no, I don't think you're quite right on one thing, which is that we were
okay.
We were not doing AOS games, but we were getting ready to start doing AOS.
We were getting ready, yeah.
And so what we were doing, in particular with Saray and I, and you, no, not you.
I mean, I was working
because you were working on your showpiece.
I was working on Amalthea. Brett was working on his Tau Manta.
Mm-hmm.
And Saray was working on a...
he was working on Slaves to Darkness or Zinch.
Yeah, he had a commission that he was working on, and you were working on, your Night Haunt, I think.
It was a few
right?
different things, yeah. And that started to show the problem, which was that it was conducive when we had, this army needs to get done because we're going to start having whole armies on the stream. But now that we have the whole armies finished, we have a different way of prepping for Sigmar, which is, for example, right now on the painting table for me is Morbeg Knights for Flesh Eater Courts. Mm-hmm. So we have a Flesh Eater Courts army. You mean Saray painted it.
Yeah.
Now we need to paint Morbeg Knights. That's not really a Journeys, right? Journeys isn't really, the nature of the theme has changed. So, and I start to realize that towards the end of my time doing Journeys was I don't. It's time to do Journeys. Saray and I would be like, well, no, that's not what we want to paint. It's well, your Journeys is supposed to be this. It's yeah, but I don't need that right now.
Yeah,
I need this right now. And so it started, it was like a piece of tech that you get in a Civilization game. at one point it was very useful, and it was like exactly what you needed. But then once you got those full armies done, and said you just had to add a unit to an army, it became a problem. So that's sort of why we don't exactly do journeys anymore.
There's multiple reasons. Yeah. There's other stuff we want to do. And Ty, you're right. Like, very much is the similar vibe in Hobby Hang. Plus, then we actually get to talk to people. I know there's like people that aren't comfortable being in a voice chat, so we have the live streams for that, right? And I think it's way more engaging to have 2 hosts as opposed to 1. I know I always struggled talking to chat by myself for upwards of 4 hours because it would always take me forever to do whatever it was I was doing.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. I mean, I don't know. For me personally, like, I don't want to be a channel where we just turn on a camera and like, okay, now you watch us paint and we're kind of quiet.
Yeah.
You know, like that's like a dime a dozen. Like I like having segments. I like having topics to talk to you guys about, and all that stuff takes planning, graphics creation. Like, we'd prefer just keeping these shows higher quality. We're always working on improving them. And just spending more time with you guys in Hobby Hangout.
Correct. Yeah. That was the other thing for me. It was like, well, I don't really know why I'm doing this. I was like, it started to compete honestly with Hobby Hang.
Fun. Hobby hanging, right?
Right, because it was a thing we did for members. A lot of members are hobby hanging anyway, and it kind of became like, I don't really feel like I might as well just hobby hang. I can work on whatever I want. We can see what other people are doing. It doesn't have to just be what we're doing. I don't know. Yeah, it's a little more interesting.
It's a little different. Yeah. So I can see it coming back as like a temporary thing.
No.
Like me, like if I felt like doing it.
No, never. I'm just kidding.
If I felt like signing on at midnight on a Friday for shits and giggles and being like, okay, this is what I'm going to do for the next month. We're gonna watch Meg paint Lumina on her own for 4 Fridays in a row. Like, if I can stay up that late, sure. I might try it. It was fun. I didn't hate it, but it is a lot of work. What's wrong?
Just imagining
me at midnight in here, keeping you awake in the other room. Blah blah blah.
What my life is gonna be like.
Listen, I'm not saying it's gonna happen, and I'm just saying, like, I have thought about it. It's just I really like sleeping.
It seems like people mostly miss the intro, which.
Oh, the intro. You're right. Yeah, that. You're right, because when we decided we weren't going to be able to do it anymore, I was like, well, how are we ever going to watch this intro again? Like, it's such a good intro. Zach is like the intro king.
You can just go watch the intro, guys, whenever you need to go.
I know,
laugh.
It's true. Just go watch it. Never forget. You're painting a stupid belt. I hate
everyone's favorite.
Like
everyone's favorite disgusting take on that between you and me. And you know what's really a bummer is we never did Brett. And we had one. What we want to do with Brett, I'll just tell you guys, is we want to go out into our courtyard area, like our outdoor area, and have Brett just kind of like leaning up against a tree with like a piece of grass in his mouth.
Yeah.
And like looking off away and then like look over. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a shot plan for Brett too, and we just never got to doing it.
Couldn't make it happen.
Yeah.
I want this tiny piece.
Everyone's favorite was just like somebody else being gross. My favorite was, I think, Saray. I know. Oh my God, yours was hilarious.
The fan blowing. We had the fan. It was so funny.
The smile I did after I looked up from working on the airbrush is so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That was one of the first times when we did that, we were like, let's try something like totally crazy and psychotic.
Totally off the bonkers off the wall. Yeah. It's so funny running a channel. Like, we have so many fun ideas, and like time is the enemy.
I wish we had gone to do Brett with his blade of grass.
I know.
Leaning up against a tree.
We'll come up with something else, you guys. We're always coming up with stuff. But yeah, like, even Blood Bowl, for as little, we're doing a very, very small tournament. It's a knockout thing. Like, 8 of us total. We're starting with 8. The next round of games, there's only going to be 4 of us. Like it gets chopped in half real fast.
Guys, that little thing that goes on their back.
You turn and look at me. It's like sticking out of your eye. Your eye's like oozing.
No, listen. I clipped it, and I heard the ceiling get like dinged like over there. That's that. No effing way I'm ever looking for that.
Yeah, Scientist Meg. Yeah, I do love Scientist Meg. Where is she?
We haven't had
Scientist Meg.
Well, first of all, there was a Scientist Meg not all that long ago in a Sigmar intro.
It was pretty long ago. It was several months at this point. Don't lie to us, Zachary. Yeah, I enjoyed Scientist Meg. Rudy, yes, we will check that after the stream.
Yeah.
Check our email.
Yeah, Tactilson. I clipped it, and as soon as I clipped it, I heard like the sound of plastic hitting like drywall.
Yeah.
But it was way too. It made like where I am and where it happened made no sense. This one,
Did you just do it again?
I did and shot. I somehow had it turned in the direction that shot downward into my hand, but it did the same thing. I just got lucky.
I do not want to paint belts.
Oh yeah, the contrast paint is good for belts. It's so good for belts. That's actually what I love contrast paint for things like belts.
This guy is wearing a top.
Especially because you have a light color, right, Meg?
Back and
the
paint
belt.
blue.
The belt is currently yellow.
No, I'm painting him brown.
Sorry, the belt is currently yellow.
I'm sorry. What are you saying to me?
The belt is currently yellow.
What belt? What's going on?
There was a conversation.
Which one am I?
There's a conversation 15 seconds ago about belts.
Yes, and I'm painting it brown.
Currently.
It is not currently yellow. It's like skin color.
Skin color, yeah.
Okay.
I was saying that I like contrast for that because it just goes over top of the lighter color.
Yeah, but I don't want to do that.
And then you get natural highlights anyway.
Yeah, but I don't do that. Come on.
Okay.
You know how I paint.
No, me having a stroke, Saray? I'm not having a stroke. She's having a stroke. I was like, is the belt brown?
You guys, please vote in our poll. It's about to end.
I'm not having...
It's very important, just like all of our polls.
Oh, I lost another one. Oh, no, here it is. It shot off my chest, and I guess that's okay.
Okay.
These stupid things.
Yeah, everyone's against you. I'm the innocent one. You're the villain. You're the one having a stroke. Okay, these two dudes have tops on, and I just realized that, and I'm so annoyed because now I gotta paint them blue. Ugh.
The belt is currently yellow. What? We just talked.
I never said the belt was yellow, so I was like, we didn't talk about yellow belts. I don't know what he's talking about.
So I need to...
Okay, good. These guys don't have belts. These guys are my favorite. These two are my favorite because they don't have a bunch of crap all over them. Very, very little crap is on these guys. Oh, they have more bells. Oh
my favorite are any of these dwarves that don't have the weird block thing on them.
You don't get great content like this on other channels. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Because I thought I was about to get attacked. Zach, do you smell burning feathers?
Is that like a real thing? People talk about toast.
Oh my God, Zach. Zach, how's your burger?
Oh my God. How's the burger? It looks good.
Looks good though. Oh man, burgers sound good. Oh, we went to get, well, I went in to get it because I'm feeling better. Sushi, I just bought myself a bunch of raw fish. And that's pretty much what I'm eating today.
I'm making my own ramen.
But hamburger does sound amazing, as usual. This is the problem with us streaming out of our home and not sharing our address. We can't get food delivered to us.
It's okay.
I'm like, burgers, guys, burgers?
They can send it to the P.O. box.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, okay, so apparently, yeah, classic Meg meal. Oh yeah, Saray, are you also still sick? How are you feeling? Oh my gosh, we're all dying. You guys aren't gonna have a channel anymore. You're just gonna have to entertain yourselves. Imagine. Okay, did you guys vote? I think it's time to end the poll.
Oh yeah, let's end the poll.
And we missed quite a few football movies. You guys have been posting them like all stream long, but now it's, they're gone. We can't see them anymore. So just remind us what we missed. I know the Replacements, right? That's one.
There's a few, of course, that we missed. I had to make choices here.
Of course. You didn't include Air Bud, the golden receiver.
Because I knew it would win. Our fans, our friends would do that thing where, like, that's the one they pick because it's stupid and funny, which is what I love about our channel and our community. But every now and then you want a real answer. So, Meg, what of these movies have you seen? You were kind of indicating that you haven't seen some of these.
I don't think I've seen Remember the Titans. Maybe I've seen it, but I don't remember.
So, you did not.
I did not remember the Titans. Yeah. Very forgettable. The Titans are very forgettable. Yeah. We don't like the Titans. So, yeah, there's that. And then I've seen The Blind Side.
Oh, which I didn't put on here.
I wouldn't have voted for it. Like,
since it turned out to be 100% fake or whatever.
It's like a good movie, but I was like, it's corny. Like, it's not my kind of movie. Like, it's kind of corny. Like,
it's pretty corny.
It's like, Radio. Radio's that's Cuba Gooding Jr. and Ed Harris.
Okay.
He's like, he helps out on the field. No, and then he becomes a football player, and I think he's like mentally handicapped or something. And,
okay.
He gets to play, and there's this whole thing. That was pretty good. I like that, okay. I guess. Okay. I don't know. What else, guys? What else are we forgetting? Oh, yeah, Waterboy.
Waterboy.
Guys, how did we forget Waterboy? That would have had my vote. Yeah.
Waterboy?
Yeah. Because it's fun. I mean, that's like the one Adam Sandler movie that I like.
Oh, I watched...
Funny Adam Sandler movie.
I watched an Adam Sandler movie last night. I saw Uncut Gems, finally.
Yeah, he uses the word I and not we because I fell asleep.
We actually watched two movies last night.
We tried, yeah.
We watched Black Dynamite.
Black Dynamite. Great pick, Saray. You're right.
Yeah,
it was funny.
It was
yeah.
very funny.
We were like, we were watching it, and in my head, I was like, this explains so much about the way Saray's sense of humor works. Yeah. And then you said it out loud, and I was like, okay, good. We're on the same page.
Yeah, it's very funny. Yeah. It has, what I liked actually the most about it is like just some messed up, it has like the messed up pacing of a 70s movie. Yeah. And like the people in the movie seem like partially okay with it and partially not okay with it. And that was like kind of a weird like theme I noticed going on in the movie. But yeah, that was quite funny.
Yeah, it's really great.
Shut your mouth, little girl. Oh yeah, a lot of people have that. A lot of people have that name.
I know. I think what helped me like it, I don't know if this helped me like it or not.
A lot of cats have that name. That's what he says.
Oh yeah. Shut up, little girl. Yeah, that was good. Okay.
This right here, Rudy. But yeah, anyone who sells drugs to the community, you're going to be worthy. But Black Dynamite, I sell drugs to the community. What's that guy's name? Eugene Yarbrough? Or Cedric Yarbrough.
Okay. Varsity Blues.
What's his name? What's that actor's name? Okay. Cedric Yarbrough. Yeah, he's freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
Varsity Blues is another one I didn't put. Okay, all right. So anyway, here's what I put. Rudy, because also Rudy. We have our own Rudy, right?
Yeah, Rudy.
Remember the Titans,
voted for Rudy.
Invincible, and Friday Night Lights. Now, I've seen all these except for Friday Night Lights.
Okay.
Which I should see because I think it's I hear it's good, and I think people liked it. So...
Isn't there a show, too?
I think there's also a show.
Yeah.
But I don't know that I want to watch a show about high school football. Remember the Titans 1. I have seen Remember the Titans, and it is pretty good.
It's all right, I guess. I wouldn't know because I don't remember it.
It's about it's like integration, black-white integration, kind of tied together with school.
Yes. Yeah, that's right.
That's its story. See, all these have their own story, except for honestly, I don't know that Friday Night Lights actually. I haven't seen it, but I don't think it has its own. Yeah, Brian's song. I saw that.
Oh, Brian's song. Yes, that one makes my dad cry.
Yeah, I should have picked something.
Sorry, Dad.
I don't think Friday Night Lights has like a what's the hook here type feel. Maybe radio would have been better for that.
What's the one with John Krasinski? Is that The Replacements?
No, Leatherheads.
Leatherheads.
And
that's another one.
Quite fun. It's a very fun
one,
movie. But I don't think anyone would vote for Leatherheads.
Probably not.
But Leatherheads it's John Krasinski and George Clooney and Renee Zellweger, and it's actually quite good. And it teaches it's like this weird thing that people didn't know about, where in the 20s and 30s.
Bandages? Are these bandages?
For a long time, actually, college football was much more esteemed in this country than professional football was.
Yeah.
Professional football was like a stupid joke.
Silly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of interesting. And Leatherheads is about kind of trying to change that. And yeah. Anyway. Yeah.
Lots of football movies. Yeah.
Remember Times was good. That's its hook thing is the integration component.
Mm-hmm.
And then Rudy, of course, is
that's Sean Astin.
Mm-hmm. And he's really not good.
Like the actor or the player?
The player. Okay. The player like has a heart of gold.
Oh, but that's not going to win you a freaking
But he's
Super Bowl.
Small. He's not particularly fast. He's not particularly.
Yeah, he's Sean Astin.
Yeah. So, and it's also based on a true story. And then what was the other one I had on there? I would say here it is for me to look at, but now have you noticed this when you end a YouTube, Saray, also when you end a YouTube poll, YouTube's like, all right, and then like 20 minutes later puts it up for you.
No, I haven't noticed.
You haven't noticed? It's been like a thing I've been.
Oh, okay.
It's been happening.
Wow.
Yeah, the poll is literally nowhere right now. Anyway, what was the last one I had? Not Little Giants, Pat.
Oh yeah.
Little Giants.
Little Giants.
I can't remember the last option I had up there. Invincible. Invincible is I grew up not far from Philadelphia. And also, I went to school even closer to Philadelphia. You guys, I don't know why it does what it does.
I think listen, calm down. Everyone calm down in this room.
No,
I think it's just because of this goofy extension.
No, watch. It'll pop up. Watch.
All right.
Yeah, it does it. It takes a while. It's weird. So...
Stupid movie.
Yeah, no, I liked Invincible. Invincible, did you see that one, Meg?
No.
Basically to like...
I'm not really like a sports movie person.
No, they're not good.
They're usually kind of corny.
They're usually pretty corny. Basically to
you
like...
You guys know I don't like feel good. I like to feel bad and sad and grossed out.
Invincible is...
And scared.
Basically the Philadelphia Eagles, to have like a publicity stunt, did open tryouts one year.
Okay.
Basically among the community.
Okay.
So it was partially almost like, come see what it's like to
try out for a football team.
To be in the Eagles camp. And that's not...
Oh my God. Do the fans show up and throw their beer at you, whether you win or lose?
No, the fans showed up to try out for the team.
I know, but do they have other fans sitting around like causing riots and stuff? So that you can really feel what it's like?
Yeah. And... basically, nobody did well, and they were expecting to get 0 people out of it. But sort of weirdly, there was one guy that they were like, this guy's actually pretty good. That guy's played by Wahlberg, one of the Wahlbergs.
Which one?
I want to say Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the best one.
Yeah, Mark Wahlberg plays...
Problematic, I know.
Mark Wahlberg plays this guy who's actually, like, pretty good. And, like, they show him being good in his neighborhood because he's the guy who... They're playing street ball, right? Which is a horrible idea because they're playing tackle football without any gear in Philadelphia on the streets. Like, on pavement and asphalt, like idiots.
Like idiots.
Yeah, and so, this guy is actually, like, pretty good. And then he was on the Eagles. He made the team.
Oh.
And he played on special teams. He was a punt. He was on special teams. He was a blocker on special teams then for a handful of years after that. And he did okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Good for him. Good for Mr. Invincible.
The ultimate kind of of course it's a movie and you watch it, but realistically he didn't really last that. He was like on for like 2 or 3 more seasons after. He had a pretty unremarkably average career, and that was it.
So he wasn't invincible, is what you're saying.
Same with Rudy, really, right? Like Rudy, they eventually play Rudy for 3 minutes in one game.
Oh.
Yeah, that's sorry,
Why?
Spoilers, everyone.
This is an old movie.
Rudy really gets to play one time when like they're getting their ass kicked in the final game of the senior year. They let him on board. They let him on field for like 3 minutes, and he gets 1 sack. Like that's it. So some of the movies are sort of like, it's not really actually super feel good if you think about it.
I guess. Tactile Son. Donnie Wahlberg's amazing performance in Saw 2 doesn't make him the top Wahlberg. 2 and 3, sir. And no, he's got a weird face. Isn't he still married to Jenny McCarthy, though?
Oh, yeah.
That'd be fun to dress up as them.
Oh, yeah. That'd be funny.
We're discussing Halloween costumes that we want to try. Instead of anything, but yeah. It's up in the air again, what we're going to dress up as.
This guy's head. Yeah.
But anyway, we're down to our last 24 minutes.
Yes.
This is flying by. I'm actually painting too. But today we're not doing fan stuff. We're doing critiques.
Yeah. Do we want to do the critique now? I guess we could.
Whenever you're ready.
Let me see if let me see if this is right. Oh my god, all that I think I have left to put together is after this guy's 1 Troll Slayer, and I kind of hated putting the Troll Slayers together.
Oh no.
It is hot in here though, huh, Meg?
It is a little warm now. Yeah, I'm in agreement with you. Funnily enough.
Oh yeah, I think I got this right. Yay! Okay, awesome.
Kicking and screaming. What's that? Have you heard of that?
I've heard of it, but I don't remember it.
Oh, who's in it?
I don't remember.
No, I'm not asking you. I'm asking them.
Oh, Man.
These people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Critique time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just waiting for you to let me know it's okay.
So we have 2 critiques today that we want to talk about.
I think we have 3.
We might have 3? Okay. Who is this one from?
This is Allele and Dandelion.
That's right.
Yeah. And so we like to remind everybody, when you're asking for a critique, try to be very specific about what you want critiqued. It can be kind of overwhelming to just be like, what should I do? Like, here's my thing, critique me. You'll get better insight, and it will help guide the people who want to critique you in their critique, right? You don't want them critiquing something that you don't care about, that you're like happy with, right? Yeah, I know, but he's not actually in those Saw movies, Tactile Son. All right. So anyways, with that being said, on to the critiquing. This is Allele and Dandelion. And got to a point where they, Spider-Man is like pretty close to being done, but they're like, what do I do next? Like, they're not sure where to go next. Mm-hmm. And I know Cody started giving some feedback in the critique channel, but yeah, I figured we could add to it or highlight it for somebody else who's watching. Yeah. Did you want to start?
Sure. For me, Allele and Dandelion, I would say it's pretty straightforward. Like Cody's advice, I think what Cody's going to do is he's going to tell you very specific things to do, which is great. What I would say is you've got kind of base coding a model down. Your blocking color in this case, that's what you should think of this as what you've accomplished now. So in other words, this is where you used to paint up until, and now you're going to make a decision to go further because you have seen other models. We've all seen other models, something we've painted, and we see a version of it that's better. Well, it's not that it's better. It's that they've gone much further.
Just pushed further.
They went way further. And there's something to hear that we all need to hear about this kind of thing that is both kind of scary and demoralizing, but shouldn't be thought of that way. It should be thought of as a positive thing, which is, how far are you on this, right? And are you 80% on this? Are you 50% on this? But what I would encourage you to think of, and this is why I say it can be demoralizing, is say you're 10% on this. Tell yourself that. Say, wow, I worked on this for a while, and here I am, here's Spider-Man now, and this is really only 10% done. But what's nice about it, well, two things. One, you can play Marvel Crisis Protocol now with this model, and it's fully painted. Cool. So you got yourself into anything where you need a fully painted model, like a tournament or anything like that, or just if you want them to be mostly fully painted when you play. So that's good. And I do that all the time. I will, like for example, I have 100 Witch Elves that I took to Nova, and even the ones that I painted like 3 years ago, still I want to add to them. So you can always add to models, and that's what I want you. That's what I would encourage you to think about right here. I'll be less East Coast and say that's what I want you to do. I'll say that's what I would encourage you to think about right here. You can just do so much more. Then you talk to a person like Cody, and he's great like that. He's not here right now. Talk to anyone, right? You put it in the right place, because you put it somewhere where people will give you some specific ideas, and don't freak about what order you do these ideas in. If you see an idea and you're like, oh, okay, I'll try that, then you do it, right? So really, I would say look at Cody's ideas. Basically all he told you to start at is highlighting up. And if you literally look at this picture you took, you can see like his knee, the light has hit his knee right there more. So that would be step one of where to highlight, right? Like you can use kind of light to start to seeing, take the blue and the red that you have all over this model and highlight up. One specific point of advice I would give you, and I know Cody didn't tell you this, but I think he would say, if Cody were here today with us and not here, he would agree with me when he would say that'd be one way to do it. As you highlight up the red and the blue, specifically the red, I wouldn't worry about covering the black up. Like, if you need to bring the red up, highlighting it a bit more, and you're like, the black web pattern on Spider-Man is kind of getting in the way of that, just paint over the black, and then go back and add the black in later.
Because you also, when you're highlighting up the red, you're going to want to highlight up the black as well. Like,
yes.
You're going to want
match it.
You're going to want to, those lines are going to also want to lighten up a bit on like the musculature, right, that's sticking out and coming forward and catching more light. It's not just the red and the blue, but you can really get into the details. So you're going to be cleaning up those things anyway, Cody, as you highlight.
Cody is not dead.
Yeah, I mean,
he's just not in chat today.
Not as far as we know. No. I mean, I guess we don't actually know. He could be. Also, the smoke, I would say. So smoke is.
Well, he might be. He is on a business trip. We know that.
The smoke, I feel like, is missing some color, some detail. Smoke is not going to reflect light the same way. It's going to be a lot more diffused. So pull up pictures of smoke, right, with fire behind it or lighting, and use that as your guide. But yeah, I think it needs some darkness in the wherever the light is not in your cloud, in this smoke. So yeah, like highlighting shadows, I would push that further and use some reference photos for that.
Yeah, generally speaking, you're at a great place to start doing exactly what Megan said, which then I would say specifically highlighting. Get yourself a wet palette. Very helpful for blending colors in and taking that blue that is on is on him, and introducing small amounts of white, and then doing highlighting.
and Zach says get a wet palette. You don't need a fancy wet palette. No. You can get a plate, like something plastic and some paper towels with water and like a little bit of parchment paper, and you're good. No, don't do that. Don't get a battery operated airbrush. It's fine. All right, let's move on to the next one. We have two more. All right. This is the iron one. Kind of new to our server, and was just asking for, like this. They're used to painting with an airbrush, and they're painting white, and they wanted to try it out with a paintbrush, right? And so they're learning. They're trying to practice their glazing, which is great. White is an interesting choice, I think, for that. It sounds tough. Because you always want to, when you're painting white, you don't want to start white, which you didn't, so that's good. Glazing up with white will probably take a little while depending on how dark you've started, but yeah, it is hard. It's a challenge.
Yeah.
What's nice about it is, everyone's like, oh, you want the consistency of like non-fat milk, skim milk, whatever. You could probably go thinner than that. And you can get it to look like milk because it's white.
Yeah.
But yeah, you probably don't want to bring it up all the way to your brightest white. You would save that for like your edge highlighting and maybe like some points, right? But you want to start with a gray, or doesn't have to be a gray, depends on the type of white you want to paint, and bring it up with glazing over time. And so your glazing should be really thin. It should take you a while if you're glazing. And you're just doing one person, so that's okay, to invest that kind of time. It's nothing crazy like NMM Lumineth. But yeah, you just want to work with very, very thin glazes and get your light source, keep it consistent, and just work towards those high points. And as you work towards your high points, you also want to take breaks and like pull out your low points a bit more too. So you might need a darker gray, right? Because contrast is what's going to sell the white. You're going to be painting a lot of not white to create white.
Yep.
Yeah.
One of the things I like to try to do when I am here giving critiques, because I'm surrounded by people like Megan and Saray and amazing people on our Discord who are super strong painters, like Cody, like Molecule, like Devin, who will dip in and give critiques, is I like to try to get you to think about something different. So, for example, with Alariel and Dandelion, again, think of yourself as somebody who now paints up to this one standard that you've always painted, and now you're ready to be somebody who doesn't do that anymore. Well, you do that, but then you go further. Here. And I said I was going to say this, and Megan said she was going to disagree with me, so I let her go first. For me, if you're saying that you feel like you have painting white down with an airbrush, and you want to try something different, also good to try something different. Megan herself said, use the term, because she's being positive, interesting choice to practice glazing up white. For me, I would just say, if you can paint white with an airbrush, paint white with an airbrush. White, yellow, and orange, man, are just amazing through an airbrush. I have, I didn't grab my, I should go grab them. I didn't grab my...
yeah, because then I can take over while, slander what you're
slander
saying
me
while you're gone.
Yeah, I have a white army, which is a
oh my gosh.
Beast Claw Raider army. And there's no shame in painting white with an airbrush.
No.
It is really good for that. So I would say, if you're thinking, I want to be able to do this without an airbrush, there's always things you kind of have to be able to do without an airbrush. Maybe there's a little area you want to get into, something's too small. This comes up.
Yeah,
of course.
I mean, I don't think, so airbrush is great, right? But that's not the point of, get out of here. That's not the point of this critique. This person specifically wants to practice their paintbrush skills. And so to tell them, don't paintbrush, use an airbrush, is not really in good faith, I think, Zach, for supporting this person's growth. Like if this person wants to get better with a paintbrush and they want to glaze white, I say it's an interesting choice because it's a really tough place to start, but doesn't mean you can't do it. Yeah, that's my thought on that. I don't think there's anything wrong with either, right? Airbrush is great. But if you're trying to learn a skill, you're trying to learn a skill. And that's sort of how that works. So, yeah, those are our thoughts. Thin glazes is going to be your friend here. So that was the other thing you were hoping to practice, is thinning your your paints down. Everybody says consistency should be like, like milk, thinned milk. We could, that's a good call out. Like in our mandrel workshops, you have this nice opportunity to work with or to see these like really talented painters. You get to see their process, right? And that's a perfect opportunity to be like, hey, can you show me how you mix your glazes? Like, can you show me the consistency of your glazes? It's really hard to give universal advice for that because every paint is different, right? Like, even if you're using a wash, some people might want to thin that down even more. It just depends on what you're using. So it's kind of hard to tell you how to thin down exactly, but yes, you should thin down. I would, I know different artists have different methods of doing that. Some people just use water. Some people use medium. Some people do a mix of things. Kind of just depends on who you're talking to and their approach to it. Zach, you wanted to show something before we move on to the next critique?
No, actually, I don't know why.
Okay.
I went and got this guy, but...
it's good. It gave me a chance to
defend
the noble paintbrush.
No, of course, and I do understand your point, but I just want to say that when we're learning, sometimes maybe you say, well, I want to get better at brush working with white, and I'm kind of saying be selective of when you brush work white. Even and that's it.
Okay.
Honestly, yeah.
All right. Well, I hope that was helpful. Yeah. And thank you for submitting. It's always like kind of tough, like putting yourself out there.
Model, yeah.
I'll let you talk about this one. Oh, shoot. I forgot the name. I'm so sorry about that. Let me pull that up.
I feel like this is someone we knew.
Crypt Shadow. Yeah. Crypt Shadow wanted feedback on highlighting and shading. They're working on this ultramarine. It's an ultramarine, right?
This is
going with blue. I'm like,
but sorry, you know what? I want to check that they put if it was. I'll check on my phone. If it was post airbrushing or still airbrushing. Do you remember? If
this is post airbrushing?
No, I understand that. Sorry, what I'm asking is, were they asking shading advice with the airbrush or now stepping away from the airbrush?
I don't think that was specified, to be honest with you, but you can double check right now.
Yeah, let me check.
Yeah, but this was Crypt Shadow. I mean, there's other shots of this. You can see more of the highlighting, like on the shoulder pads and stuff.
Yeah. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, in our Discord, if you guys wanted to take a closer look at it.
Honestly, I think it's pretty good. And they're asking like, how does this look? Yeah, I mean, like here's one of the things to think about. Now, presumably, you're moving on to brushwork. You've got your base coat and your Zenthal down. And what I would do to remind yourself, Crypt Shadow, is I'd pull up this guy somewhere else where you've seen him paint it blue for ultramarines. This is an aggressor? So pull up an aggressor on GW site on Instagram and remind yourself of how much of this won't be blue. Because if you try to look at this and say, all right, could you highlight this up more? Yes, of course you could. You could go close to white in some areas on the shoulder. I mean, I probably wouldn't, but you could go close to white in some areas on the shoulder pad. But remember, you're going to have a decal on his right shoulder pad, our left. You're going to have a lot of things getting painted. And there will be other noise, quote unquote, going on this model. So you don't need to add a crap ton of noise just with the airbrush. I think the danger we get into, especially when we're early painting with an airbrush, is that once we see the power of Zenithal highlighting, your models really jump a whole level. You really become a whole new level of painter for two reasons. One, it's faster. Let's come back to that one. That's actually the more important one. But the second one is just that it's clean. It's nice, clean, blended highlights. Like, this is stuff people were doing when people in the 90s could do this with a brush. We thought they were insanely amazing painters, and they were, right? When you can blend this smooth with just a brush, the airbrush, it just cheats and just helps you do that like immediately.
Your comment about faster and that being more important is very interesting to me, because I am not an army painter. Like, I paint armies because we must.
Yeah.
And I don't pump them out quick the way you do, right? Because you're an army painter. Like, I think you're an army painter. To me, like, I don't necessarily want it to go faster. I just want to be better. Like, I want to be better because I enjoy, like, getting better and having a nice looking army and, you know, kicking your butt at the army
faster.
So I don't know what the goal here is. Maybe this person is an army painter and they want faster.
Crypt Shadow, definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
Know them from from channels past as watching streams. Now, but what I was gonna say, Meg, is that faster is better because faster means...
We're going to talk about this after the stream.
Faster means stamina, right? So what it means
Does faster mean stamina?
If you have got, in this case of army painting here, if you don't have to sit here and do all this base coating with blue, then you're going to have more time and energy to put into the rest of the brush work. So what I'm saying is I would put...
Yeah, that's fair.
I would say that's what makes an airbrush so important. But when we first start doing it and we kind of see the power of that, we say, oh my gosh, like I just like base coated 1,500 points of ultramarines in an afternoon. Like that used to take me a month, right? Then you hit the Zenithal. You start Zenithal and you're like, oh my gosh, I just base coated and highlighted 1,500 points of ultramarines in an afternoon, in a Saturday. And so remember that you still have to go in here and paint all these other details. And when we look at an ultramarine and you say, what color is an ultramarine? You go blue. An ultramarine's blue. But there's going to be, you know, it's like when you get the box from GW and they're like, how many paints do I need to paint an ultramarine? And they're like, well, actually, only 27.
Oh my God. I love how Chad is taking sides. Alice is like very much anti-Meg. This is good. This is good for you. You need this.
This means once you have this painted, you can spend more time and energy and effort on the rest of the model. But I think it looks good. So, however, if you wanted one specific thing I might call out, I would say that I think the highlighting is pretty good. I would say you could take a purple or a purplish blue and try, and there's a lot of pretentious debate on both sides, whether we call it reverse Zenithal or Nadir, but try hitting up on him.
Oh, with the dark
you have him on a cork.
Or even like a red.
You could...
cool, because it would turn purple. That could look cool. It depends on how you want to.
It depends on how opaque that red paint would be, right?
Yeah. Well, you would thin it.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I might try like a. I might try a purple, like a cool purple. Well, I mean, what Megan's saying can look good too, though.
Oh, it's all like, you know, subjective.
It's subjective, yeah. So try things, but. And then, so in other words, I think your highlights are good. I think your shadows could be shadowy. And so shadow or more shadowy. So in other words, what I think you did is I think you have them on the cork, which is what I do. And I think you did black all around because that's your primer. Then I think you took your first color and I think you did the same thing. I think you just replicated that process of all around. Crypt Shadow, like you said black's the primer, this is the base coat, and the base coat goes everywhere, and that's fine, but I think that first color maybe should have been darker, and also that even that first color you could have maybe hit like a little bit shallow on a Zenithal to leave some of the black, and then like work your way up as the colors get brighter. I think you maybe missed making it as dark as it could be, like under the knees.
Well, it's a contrast thing. Yeah, you could definitely push the contrast here. Like your lights could be a lot brighter. I feel like the lights could be, depending on like how, like, I think so, like majestic. Like a lot of, I hate you. Forget it.
No,
Forget
no,
it.
no, I'm just kidding.
No, it's fine.
No.
Nobody likes what I'm saying.
No,
anyway, it's fine.
Well, please, I'm just joking.
No, I don't want to. I'm good. You got it. You covered it.
No, Meg was saying the lights could be lighter, and she's right. I just don't think.
I see a lot of really nice looking like Marines out there where they look like there's just like a really strong highlight, right? And they look very like polished and emerging out of the dark, you know, like you don't have to do that. Not every, we're trying to play with our toys on the tabletop, but like if you want to push it further, I would say like push those highlights.
Well, why not? It wouldn't take long. If he's doing it with an airbrush,
yeah,
it won't take long, right?
Yeah.
So,
because you're painting an army, you want to get through it fast. And
another fun thing you could do here, Crypt Chat, if you want to have some fun, is, and I think Meg will like this idea that I'm about to say. Take a picture of this thing in black and white, and then find some paints, like do that paint shading thing, and take
paint shading.
So
thing.
do your next highlight color in like, find the blue that you want to go up one level. So it's going to be like a really soft blue, like a very pale blue, right? Mm-hmm. And then take a picture of that bottle. Find a green that you think is some greens that are close, and line them up next to each other, and take a picture and turn it black and white, and see which one of those greens and blue look at which one of those greens looks just like the blue in black and white, and then highlight your final coat with that. That would look cool. Do you hear what I'm saying? Like basically,
yeah, use like an aqua or something.
Use like an aqua for your final highlight.
To highlight, yeah. I was thinking the same thing. Like you can, if you keep adding white, it'll eventually turn white, I guess. But sometimes it looks nice to highlight with a neighboring color, like an analogous color. Yeah.
So sorry, I just want to I'm going to plug a video. Meg made a video.
I did.
Called. It's really stupid. I think it might be called like Painting with Colors. We had like a stupid title for it.
We did.
But it actually shows the exact process I'm trying to talk about, which is like, let's say this is a blue paint. You're gonna take the paint that you think Crypt Shadow you want to add one more highlight layer to, and then you're gonna find some like aquas, and you're gonna line them up next to it, and you're gonna take a picture of all of them, and then turn that picture black and white. One of them will look exactly like the blue, or really close to it, and use that one instead of the blue. Yeah. Because that means that the value is the same, but the color, the color is different. So I think that's it. All right. Anyway, bye. We're gonna hit the mandrel button and leave immediately. No,
wait, what? No, oh my gosh, no. Don't do that. But we should remind everybody to support us. Just do it, guys. If you haven't liked the stream yet, make sure you like it. Mm-hmm. Tactile Sun, Man is bringing up. It's getting hot and bothered in chat right now. Tactile Sun, this short was a short where I painted Zach's chest. It was an advertisement for our skin episode. So good luck digging through our shorts. But it should be pretty obvious when you see it, when you come across it. Okay, so we did the things. Mm-hmm. We have, I wanted to just really quickly, we're not going to go through all the rules, but those of you who are in our Discord, those of you who aren't in our Discord, make sure you join. Yeah. We have a monthly challenge.
We didn't get to this, right? Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. I'm just going to shove it in real quick. We always do this.
Yeah.
I said I wasn't going to go through the rules.
Well,
but
let's at least show Crone for it.
Yeah,
I think
let's do that.
Big one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, it's here. We have a monthly challenge in our Discord. There's a different theme every month, and this is this month's theme: When Worlds Collide. Interpret that as you see will. As you interpret that as you will, as you see fit. Sorry. Blech.
As you see will.
As you see will. When Worlds Collide. Yeah. Interpret that however you want. We do. Will. Roshan has made a valiant submission that I love. So I hope to see more stuff from you guys. Join our Discord. Do that. Do the thing. And yeah, we are running a little behind, but that's okay because we usually start late. Although today we didn't. You can go back and check.
We almost started early.
Almost. Yeah. But thank you guys for being here, for hanging out, for the super chats, for the memberships. Thank you, Mandrels, for your extra support. As always, you guys keep us motivated. You guys all keep us motivated. We will be in Hobby Hang. We're going to eat something really quick, and then we're going to keep painting. I would like to finish my army. So if you want to see where I'm at, you can join us there. And
team, not an army.
Team, right. Team.
I don't care what you call it. I'm just trying to help you out.
I appreciate that.
All right, should we say bye?
I think we should say bye. Everybody, be kind to yourselves, be kind to each other, always be creating, and don't spread COVID.